What's up, coolers? Welcome back to the channel for a quick Barca news roundup ahead of the Champions League semi-final second leg, the big game tomorrow night at the San Siro against Inter Milan. Well, there is a bit of good news and there's some bad news as well when it comes to the injury front, and I'm going to start with the good news, of course. In the game against Valladolid on Saturday night, we saw that in the last 10 minutes of the game, Gavi was substituted after he was seen struggling. It seemed to be like he had picked up an injury. But thankfully, it was confirmed after the game that Gavi was only taken off as a precautionary measure. So definitely there is no serious injury right there. So Gavi is not just going to be available for that Inter game tomorrow night. He is also going to be very much available for the Clásico against Real Madrid at the Montjuic on Saturday. And it was not just that injury that would have ruled Gavi out of Saturday's Clásico against Madrid. Also because heading into that game against Valladolid on Saturday, Gavi was a suspension risk, guys. I mean, he was one yellow card away from a suspension. And with Gavi's reputation for foul plays and intensity in the middle of the pitch, we all thought that Gavi was going to pick up a yellow card in that game, but thankfully Gavi was on his best behavior, so he didn't pick up a yellow card, but rather there was an injury scare. And now thankfully all the fears have been allayed because Gavi is very much fit and ready to play both the Inter game and then the Real Madrid game on Saturday. But how about another big injury boost that Barca have gotten ahead of this game against Inter on Tuesday? Because Robert Lewandowski has been back in training. Lewandowski was seen training with the rest of the team in the recovery section on Sunday after that very important victory against Valladolid. And just like I said in one of my videos when I announced Robert Lewandowski's injury, I said that so many times we have seen Robert Lewandowski come back from injuries ahead of schedule because, of course, we know that the guy is a top professional. He takes absolutely good care of himself. He is a fitness beast. He is a fitness freak, and that is evident because Lewandowski, we were even having doubts whether Lewandowski would even be ready at all for the Inter game, and Lewandowski now is back. He's fully fit. He's ready to go against Inter on Tuesday. He is not just back in training, he has also been included in the squad that will be traveling to Milan. The squad has actually traveled to Milan today being Monday, so Lewandowski is part of that Barca squad that has gone to Milan to play the second leg against Inter. So that's a huge boost for us, guys. Having Lewandowski in our ranks is always going to be a plus, and I'm hoping that Lewandowski would make a difference in that second leg on Tuesday, because even though Lewandowski may not be able to start the game, we all know that even having Lewandowski as a bench option is a big plus for Barca. But that is just about where the good news ends when it comes to these recent injuries and injury scares, because as much as we had all hoped that Alejandro Balde would be back for the big game against Inter on Tuesday, unfortunately, that has not been the case, because there was a worry when we didn't see him in the squad list for the Valladolid game on Saturday, and then we thought that that was just another precautionary measure to ensure that he was fully fit and ready for Tuesday against Inter. However, unfortunately, that has not been the case. Balde, unfortunately, has failed to make the Barca squad for the game against Inter on Tuesday. So, as it is at the moment, the most likely time that we are going to see Balde back in action is likely to be the Clásico against Real Madrid on Saturday. It seems like at this point, of course, with a hamstring injury, there has always been the fear of a relapse, and Barca definitely, it is clear that they didn't want to take any chances by rushing Balde back against Inter and then risking not having him available for the other important games that we have in this season to go. Because don't forget that after that Inter game, if Barca are even lucky or able to progress to the Champions League final, the final still has to be played, which is going to be the biggest game of Barca's last 10 years, since the last final in 2015 against Juventus. If Barca are able to make another Champions League final 10 years later, that is definitely going to be Barca's biggest game of the last 10 years. So Balde still has some part to play this season, and just after the Inter game is going to be Real Madrid in a potentially season title deciding Clásico as well. So you can see why Barca are definitely trying to be very cautious by treating this Balde's injury. And we saw when the squad was released earlier on Monday that Balde has failed to make the cut. So of course Balde will not be traveling to Milan with his teammate as part of the squad, but he hopefully should be back for the Clasico against Real Madrid on Saturday. But then again, this now raises serious question marks about how Barca are potentially going to line up in that game against Inter on Tuesday, because that game, like Hansi Flick said after the first leg, is a final before the final. And we saw at some point in that first leg, even though Gerard Martin was given a start in that game, he had a very difficult night up against Dumfries. Dumfries was having so much joy down Barca's left-hand side on that night. So to be honest, there isn't much confidence in Gerard Martin holding his own at left back in such a big game against Inter. Well, on Saturday, he had a very good performance. He delivered a beautiful assist for Fermin Lopez's winner against Valladolid. He was even named the MVP of the game. But guys, let's not kid ourselves. That was Valladolid, guys. Valladolid, they are bottom of La Liga. They have already been relegated. So Valladolid is not the top side that you will be expecting top performances from your players. They are expected to actually put in decent performances against a side like Valladolid. No disrespect to Valladolid, but they are bottom of La Liga. They have already been relegated. So the prospect of facing Inter at the San Siro is far different from having a good game against Valladolid. So now, at some point in that first leg against Inter as well, we saw that Flick had 4 centre backs on the pitch at the same time, with Martinez at left back, Araujo and Kubasi at centre half, and Eric Garcia at right back. So with the injury problems that Barca have had this season, let's not make any mistake about it, Barca's fullbacks this season, Balde and Koundé, they have been a vital part of why Barca have been so successful this season. And it is not surprised to see that Barca are really a different team without the performances or the attributes of Koundé and Balde in the side. But this is a point in the season where Barca has to get the job done. No excuses, guys. The injury to Koundé has already been there. We hoped that Balde would be ready for this second leg against Inter, but unfortunately that has not been the case. So is it likely that Hansi Flick is going to opt for an all centre backline with Martinez at left back, Kubasi and Araujo at centre half, and Eric Garcia at right back once again? Or is there a possible chance that we may even see the centre defensive partnership of Ronald Araujo and Andreas Christensen, which was so successful in Xavi's title winning season, mind you? And of course, we also saw that in the weekend victory at Valladolid. So is it possible that these are some of the options that Flick may be considering to make for the absence of Balde and Jules Koundé? Well, that is left to be seen in few hours time when Barca head out to the San Siro pitch for that all-important second leg against Inter at the San Siro. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. With the confirmation that Balde is not going to be fit for Tuesday, what will be your preferred defensive line for that game against Inter on Tuesday? Will you go for the all centre-back selection of Martinez, Kubasi, Araujo, and Eric Garcia, or would you opt for Gerard Martin starting in that left back against Dumfries yet again in a big Champions League game for Barca? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please do give this video a like, turn on your notifications so that whenever I drop, you shall be notified. And most importantly, please do not forget to smash that subscribe button. And hopefully, I will always catch you on the next video. But until then, as always, Visca El Barça. Adios.